first episode of Corner Room Creepshow. I'm Mister Samhain from the Denver Metal and Horror blog Cult of Brutality, and also the host and occupant of the Corner Room. So what's Corner Room Creepshow all about? Well, the idea here is this is a familiar movie host format. What I want to talk about and highlight is the labor of love that is the more modern indie horror that may get lost in the mix of the nostalgia wave that we all love to ride on, but are guilty of maybe not experiencing enough new indie horror ourselves. The movies you're skipping over on Prime, the weird flick on Shudder you didn't add to your watch list, and yes, even the indie horror movie or short you thought looked kind of cool on Instagram but forgot about. That's what I'm here to do, which brings me to one you may have heard about through social media and my focus here on the Corner Room Creepshow. There's about 1 million horror movies set during Halloween, a whole bunch during Christmas, hell, even July 4th, like Uncle Sam, if you've seen that one. But there's lesser holidays that have no love, and I can't think of one that has anything to do with Labor Day, but we do now. And I'm talking about Slaybor Day 7. This is a horror mockumentary short that chronicles the career of horror icon Maddox Mason, the mass murderer that kills people for wearing white after Labor Day. Now, don't go and Google Maddox Mason. You've never heard of him. And he isn't from a nearly lost 80s film that was only available on VHS from eBay for like $90. This may be Slaybor Day 7, but this short film is the introduction to the Slaybor Day killer Maddox Mason. He was created by Justin Wayne, the writer and director of Slaybor Day 7, who put this together for about $600. It's kind of like Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, where there's no actual Dude Bro Party Massacre 1 or 2. They just ran off at the beginning to help recap what happened in the other ones to get you kind of caught up. Slaybor Day 7 is going to catch us up on the previous 6 sequels, which is a hell of a lot, plus the life of Maddox Mason, who's quite frankly been through some shit, which you'll see here pretty soon. That's actually the primary focus of Slaybor Day 7, as this is an interview kind of where are they now sort of affair. Now, like I said, this is a short. It's a comedy with horror elements, and it's a good one. If you like Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and references to Scream, Halloween, Unsolved Mysteries, and shows like Access Hollywood, you'll dig this. Now, I'm only going to do one commercial break tonight since this is a 12-minute short, but then we'll be back after to briefly talk about the first, 5 minutes or so of the short. So if you're following along, go ahead and queue up Slaybor Day 7 on YouTube in another tab, then watch Slaybor Day 7 up to the 5-minute mark. Pause me, and then we'll come back and talk. Or you could just watch it straight through if you don't care about spoilers or if you've already seen it. This is your spoiler alert. If you keep cruising through after my commercial break here soon, you're going to run into spoilers. Corner Room Creepshow is just horror bumper host segments, since I can't just attach movies in here because that's not fair use. And I can't afford to license movies. So you're on your own if you want to follow along with the movie. I got the link below on YouTube, so you can check there. It's also on Troma Now if you're subscribed to that. Now, the tagline for this is, it's not safe to wear white after Labor Day. All this short is, it's pretty tongue-in-cheek, firmly in cheek. Self-horror horror has been going on for a long time, going back beyond Scream to, Rocky Horror and its absolute embracement of camp, Return of the Living Dead, Friday the 13th Part 6, where the movies are almost parodying themselves and pretty self-referential. I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly. Plus, the slasher nostalgia wave never truly ends. It just kind of washes in and washes back out. Plus, do we ever get tired of horror comedies? I don't. You can't tell me you didn't like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. There we were, minding our own business, doing some chores around the house when the kids started killing themselves all over my property. That movie's great and a true example of a modern classic. Anyway, you'll see after the first 5 minutes of Slaybor Day 7, plus also my non-paid commercial break, which you'll see here pretty soon. And then we'll catch you after that. So stay tuned.
Years ago, a witch swore vengeance on the descendants of Pinecrest, Massachusetts. Now, there's a new kid in town.
Today, you'll note that we have a new student. I know you'll all make her feel welcome.
You stay out of our way, and we just might stay out of yours.
And the witch is back.
This is our chance at a new life.
I've seen this house before. I know this house.
I've been waiting for you.
From the author of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I've been waiting for you.
Come to us in cauldron dark, read to us by wisdom spark.
You don't have to tell me anything.
The whole town's talking about you. You're just what we expected.
This is the thriller you've been waiting for.
Is Sarah a witch?
You really think some 300-year-old crone has crept into my body to set up this descendants club of yours for the kill?
She's not one of us.
If Freddy still haunts your dreams. If you scream at men in masks.
I've been waiting for you.
What are you doing here?
300 years of terror is headed your way. Somebody knows you're here.
I've been waiting for you.
Rated R.
That kid was fucking ugly. So Max Mason looks like Quasimodo under that mask, I guess, since he's worn it since he was 5. I'd like to hope that mask was changed out at least yearly, because you can get one of those things at like every Halloween from any store that sells costumes, like real cheap too, like I don't know, like $12. Also, easy costume to put together if you need one for Halloween: red mask, oversized pea coat, and large shears. Maddox Mason's played by Derek K. Moore. I'm sure he's listed as K. Moore because there's 14 just Derek Moores on IMDb. So, pretty common name. Derek's already done a number of things, including stand-up comedy, opening for guys like Jim Gaffigan and David Koechner, to pro wrestling, where he's a ring announcer and talent relations guy for Showcase Pro Wrestling in Rhode Island. And now the Red Masked Labor Day Killer, Maddox Mason. All right, let's finish the last half of Labor Day 7. That YouTube girl they got in there, Chacarella with 3 L's, she's got a lot of enthusiasm, can really explain a scene. That's part good writing and part somebody who's just watched a lot of YouTube to nail that. She's not a real YouTuber, but maybe she should be. Well, we know why it's called Labor Day 7 now, because this was the start of the 7th sequel, and it all begins with Maddox Mason figuratively spilling his guts about his life before spilling Barry Bones's. I just want to say I love Barry Bones. When he's talking about Maddox Mason's career at the beginning, he terrorizes audiences and basic bitches with no fashion sense alike. His delivery and Robert Stack-like parody character just really worked well. That was Paul Noonan as Barry Bones, and he's been in a whole bunch of things, including Castle Rock on Hulu, as well as the previous short director Justin Wayne did, Creative Custody, where a book series author is put on trial for killing off the main character in the final book. Derek K. Moore was also in that as an upset fan called as the first witness. Paul was the second witness in Creative Custody who couldn't stop plugging his book on The Stand, which was analysis of the book series in question. Justin found Derek and Paul through Backstage.com, and he's been giving them work and pizza on set ever since. It's got to be kind of hard acting under a mask the entire time, but, luckily with lines and physical acting, Derek pulls off a pretty emotive character through all this. Probably a credit to his time in Showcase Pro Wrestling. Plus, with this being a documentary, mockumentary, whatever, there's plenty of material here from movie scenes to act, to his love, marriage, and then divorce from Labor Day series co-star Delilah Bloodworth, who's actually played by the director's beautiful sister, Jillian Minoche. Her line about what it's like to be a scream queen, that feeling when your heart is so scared you can feel the blood dripping. That was actually pulled from a Lady Gaga interview. Jillian unfortunately won't be back for the full length, though, as she's been recast with Christina Horan, a theater type who can sing soprano, ballet dance, and was also a first runner-up for Miss Rhode Island. She'll be the final girl of the actual Labor Day. Justin Wayne, the director, he's put together a Indiegogo campaign to raise $8,000 to make the actual Labor Day feature length. This short was shot for $600, with most of that going to shooting in 4K, getting props, the footage for the space sequence for Part 5, Maddox in Space, printing all the fake posters, movie cases, shirts, plus also food for the crew, because that's pretty much how it worked for them, because nobody got paid for it. But yes, it still looks and feels very professional, a very micro budget, proving you can do a lot with little and even more with just 11 minutes of screen time. Anyway, the actual Labor Day, the feature, is looking at a budget of about $10,000 to $15,000, which, better be heavy on the gore since it's an actual slasher movie. Plus, it will include our favorite thing about gore, practical effects. So, check out their website, SlaborDay.com, for the Indiegogo, see what perks they got, maybe kick some money their way. As Bob Wilkins would say, watch horror films, keep America strong. But also help fund them, because it's 2020 and we deserve more than another fucking Paranormal Activity or remake of a classic, you cheap, whiny bastards. Okay, so he didn't say that last part, but you get the point. Well, that does it for the first episode of Corner Room Creepshow. I hope you enjoyed Labor Day 7. Don't forget about the Indiegogo for the feature length, and we'll see you for another movie on the next one. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and give me the thumbs up, not down, and subscribe, please, so you don't miss an episode. Also, if you leave any comments or questions on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook here, I may just read them and respond to them during the next episode, unless it's from one of those See My Live sex show robots. I can't respond to those, but I might go and look at those fake pictures on the account. Anyway, I'm Mister Samhain for Corner Room Creepshow, saying, watch something new for a change. See you next time.